So it's no secret that I love Monster Hunter. However, I think after playing Rise again recently on PC to help some people catch up for Sunbreak, some things became more apparent with the problems that I have with the series. The main issue being that the evolutions of monsters never really change. So what I mean by this is, starting in Generations Ultimate, weapons started gaining new skills and upgrades, and that continued in World and Rise. However, the monsters we were hunting were still the same monsters as they were in Generation 2. Yeah, maybe they got a few new moves, but the baseline fight was still the same. Nothing changed drastically. You'd learn the new move, or moves, then go back to being able to hunt that monster half asleep. Another issue that is tied to this is the evolution of monster design. What I mean by this is, in Monster Hunter, you can clearly tell what is a Gen 1 monster versus a Gen 5 monster. For example, Tigrex has been around since Gen 2. Tigrex is your bare-bone monster. It's an apex of any area, it hits hard, and yells a lot. But that's really it. Same goes for its subspecies, Brute Tigrex. The only difference is that Tigrex is darker in color. Now, compare that to something that was introduced in World, Bazelgeuse, which can invade your hunt, turns into an F-22 bomber jet, and has explosive properties. And its subspecies has explosive properties but dialed up to 11. While many of these older monsters are fan favorites and are demanded in games, this also leads to an ongoing problem of having staple monsters, and thus making the games seem more dull by doing so. Like, when was the last time we saw a game that didn't have Diablos or Rathian? The answer is never, but when was the last time we saw a game without something interesting like Lagiacrus, Naharala, or Gobel? It's been like 7 years. Granted, that's more so due to the fact that they removed underwater combat, but still. This need for staple monsters inherently caused a problem for long-time players of Monster Hunter, where if the monsters don't get some drastic overhaul, or new movesets, or even something to make them not just a copy and paste of older generations with nicer textures, makes a ton of fights seem really boring. Because then it's like, what's distinguishing hunting a Rathalos in Gen 5 from hunting one in Gen 3 if they're basically the same fight? A non-Monster Hunter example I can give of this is from the game Overwatch. You can tell which heroes in Overwatch were Stage 1 design versus a more recent design, just based on simplicity. For example, Reaper and Mercy are fairly basic characters compared to the newer ones like Echo and Sojourner, and it's a lot like comparing older generation monsters with newer generation monsters in Monster Hunter. I don't know, maybe I'm just being dramatic, but I honestly feel like whatever Monster Hunter 6 comes out, I'd honestly want them to not include any base tier monsters, so no normal Rathalos, no normal Diablos, normal Rathian, etc. And even to a certain extent, the first tier of their subspecies, so Azure, Pink, and Black respectively. Do something crazy like make the base tier of Rathalos start at Silver, then do something even crazier like mix Dread King Rathalos with Silver Rathalos. Or if they really wanted to go crazy, they could make it Monster Hunter with the subtext mutations. And combine monsters. Imagine a two-headed Rathian Rathalos combo monster with 2 tails, or since they added that, one new monster with dual fire elemental fist, and Egnactor that is half lava and half ice. Make a 3-headed Fatalis, one for each color. It could be reminiscent of King Ghidorah from Godzilla. The possibilities are endless. Anyway, let me know if there's any more cool monster fusions or mutations you can come up with. I'd love to hear them. Also, let me know if you agree with me or disagree with what I said about the disparity between first-gen monsters versus later-gen monsters, and what you would do to make it better moving forward. Okay, so quick little tidbit here at the end. It was just announced online via an IGN interview that I'll link down below, with a Sunbreak dev, that Lagiacrus won't be returning in Sunbreak, which, as someone who started the series with Monster Hunter Tri, is a huge upset, and furthermore proof that underwater combat needs to be added back. Don't worry about the complainers who found it too difficult, they just need to get better. A lot of potential the Monster Hunter series is now have because of the lacking aspect of underwater combat. I think that's why Tri and 3U didn't feel underwhelming like Rise did. Because there was a mix-up of different types of monsters. One hunt you'd be fighting Raytheon, then the next you'd be underwater fighting Plesioth. So the game changed. Instead of Rise, where you're just fighting generic land monster number 1 and generic land monster number 2 with a different element. Anyway, I don't want to make this postscript section too long. Just thought I'd add in the news I found out today about Ludicrous and pitch that underwater needs to come back. Take care all.